1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 from the Osaka Municipal Gymnasium, this wonderful state-of-the-art building. A very warm welcome to the Osaka Municipal Gymnasium, this wonderful state-of-the-art building, as the men's competition in the Volleyball Nations League starts to get serious. We're getting ready for the third round of pool matches. Later on, we will see Japan and Bulgaria go head-to-head, but first, a collision between Italy and Poland, the world-ranked number 3 team against the world-ranked number 4 team. And both teams coming into Japan on the back of a defeat and with 1 or 2 changes as well. So it'll be interesting to see how Italy and Poland match up against each other. 2 very, very experienced squads. 2 squads that are always seeming to be there or thereabouts when the medals are handed out. Italy, of course, silver medalists at the Rio Olympics back in 2016. And indeed 3-time FIVB world champions as well. Although the last time that happened was in 1998. So Italy are in the house, and a few moments ago Poland arrived as well. Coach Vital Heinen saw his team get off to a terrific start, winning their first 5 games on home turf as well. But then they were tripped up in their last match against Germany, losing 3-1. And significantly, Vital Heinen has left 2 of his big players at home, resting them for this round of matches in Japan. Indeed, Italy have left their 2 top scorers behind as well. So both teams shuffling their pack. They've got very strong squads, of course. They won't be weakened at all. And this is what we've got to look forward to. As I say, Japan, Bulgaria coming later. Italy, Poland will kick off our round of pool matches in Osaka. And then they will conclude on Friday and Saturday in that order. It's all about a top 5 finish and being alive for the finals week. The hosts, France, are guaranteed one of 6 places. That effectively means you've got to finish in the top 5 in order to qualify. And at the moment, there have been so many surprises, nobody quite knows what's coming. Poland, as I say, won their first 5, and that puts them top of the board, along with Brazil and the United States, but they were tripped up in their last game. Italy at the moment just on the outside looking in. They'll want to do something about that, but still plenty of points up for grabs. Japan will be hoping to move up the ladder as well, and Bulgaria, having started fast but then having a really tough time in their last round of pool matches, they've started to fade away, so they need to make a strong stand here in Osaka, Japan. Well, a few moments ago we had the coin toss, which was won by the Italians. They elected to serve their veteran skipper Filippo Lanza on the left there, winning that battle with Mateusz Bieniek. 2 very experienced players, both of them involved in the Olympic Games in Rio a couple of years ago. And Lanza coming into the lineup today for Italy, as coach Gian Lorenzo Blanghini shuffles his pack head-to-head. This is what has happened in recent meetings. Overall, at world level, Poland lead this series 10-9. They've also won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the 2. Italy's last win came in the 2015 World Cup, in which they won a silver medal. And the omen there is good for them, because that competition was staged in Japan. So will it be a return to form for Italy? Will Poland continue their recent dominance over their rivals? Poles, the reigning world champions, of course. Italians, the reigning Olympic silver medalists. Number 3 versus number 4. Filippo Lanza, what a player to bring in. Very strong player indeed, Lanza. A Rio Olympian, part of that 2015 World Cup silver medal winning squad, and over 100 caps for his country. Well, they may have rested Itai Zaitsev and Osmar Juan Torina, their top 2 scorers in the Volleyball Nations League thus far, but Lanza certainly brings an awful lot of experience and plenty of power from the wing spiker position. And here is a young man that we will see a lot of over the next few years. Only 21, the setter Simone Gianelli, but already he's been part of the Rio Olympic silver medal winning squad, and he also was part of that silver squad in 2015 when he was just a baby. Still only 21, and a huge future. A couple of players to keep an eye on the Polish side, include Mateusz Bieniek, their captain. A big middle blocker, a stunning, imposing middle blocker. Part of that Rio Olympic squad, indeed. 6 members of the 14-man roster here. Got experience of yet another quarter-final finish at the Olympics 2 years ago in Rio. They'll be looking to get on the board, the medals board, when it's played in Tokyo in a couple of years' time. And Artur Šalpuk, the wing spiker, has 41 points so far. A very valuable member of Vital Heinen's squad, particularly as Heinen has decided to rest Mikhail Kubiak, his skipper, and Jakub Kokonowski, his big middle blocker. They're the 2 leading point scorers for Poland in the Volleyball Nations League this year. So with them missing, the door has been opened wide for Artur Šalpuk to show exactly what he can do. He's a very valuable member of the squad. Šalpuk will be hoping to become a member of the starting lineup.
At Osaka, Japan, we will now begin match number 51 between Italy and Poland. And now, please welcome the players to the court.
So we'll have the formalities first of all. We will meet our 2 starting lineups, which are loaded with talent. We will be formally introduced to our 2 referees. And when the players walk into the center of the court, we will have the 2 national anthems as well. And after all that, play will commence. You get the sense that this round of pool matches in the men's competition is going to be the one where we find out who are the contenders and who are the pretenders. So many surprising results so far, but this is when the key players you would think will make their move. And this match, absolutely wonderfully poised. It should be a fascinating one. It's a match both teams will want to win.
Please rise for the national anthem of Italy. And now, the national anthem of Poland.
So the players will return to the sideline, and we will now wait the introduction of our officials who come from the United Arab Emirates and Egypt.
Let's meet tonight's international referees. The first referee, Hassan Shah from Egypt. The second referee, Al-Louis Shahid from the United Arab Emirates.
The first referee will take the chair. The second referee will take the low road, one on each side. And when they're in position, we are ready for the introduction of the starting lineups. We are expecting both teams to field strong starting lineups.
Presentation of the starting players, liberos, and coaches.
The Italians that are introduced first. No Itai Saitsev, no Osmai Juantorena. Those two players have combined for over 200 points between them thus far, but they take a rest. Luigi Randazzo with 36 points is the top scorer in their squad right now. Simone Giannelli, already talked about him. We will see a lot of him over the next 3 days. Filippo Lanza, the captain, takes his place in the lineup. Simone Anzani, a big middle blocker. Where's number 17? And Gabriele Nelli is the opposite hitter. And the libero is the vastly experienced Salvatore Rossini. That's the lineup that Gianlorenzo Blanghini has sent out. Very interesting that both coaches have rested two big players. Well, they do feel they've got plenty of depth in their squads, and they're absolutely right, of course. The Poles field 4 members of their World Championship winning side, including this man right here, Peter Nowakowski. Lukas Kaczmarek is a wing spiker of some promise. Artur Szalpuk had 16 points against China as the coach rotated his squad there. Fabian Drieska, Bartosz Kwolek, another youngster, Mateusz Bieniek. And the libero is Paweł Zatorski, another member of that World Championship winning squad. Vital Heinen is the head coach, took over in February. His brief: get Poland over the line in the Olympics. 4 times in a row they've reached the last 8. They've yet to hit the podium. Confirmation then of the starting lineup, a blend of experience and 1 or 2 young prospects looking to make their mark here for Gianlorenzo Blanghini's side. That's how the Italians line up for this very important match. Both teams will be coming into this one thinking in terms of getting 3 straight wins to really cement their place in the top 5. As we take a look at the Polish starting lineup, which looks like this. So plenty to play for then. It will be the best of 5 sets. The first 4 sets will be a race to 25, and you have to win each set by 2 clear points. If it goes to a 5th set, it will be a sprint to 15. Both these teams looking to shrug off disappointment last time out when Poland lost to Germany, and Italy was stunned in Argentina by the host nation, who hadn't won a game up until then, but came away with a shutout against the Italians. A huge shock, one of many that we've seen in the men's competition in the Volleyball Nations League thus far. Will there be more shocks and surprises over the next 3 days in Osaka? We're about to find out. Our first match of this pool of matches will get started now as Daniele Mazzone, the middle blocker, will serve for the Italians. Immediately there is contact to the net from Poland. The service reception not the best. So a nice easy point and a nice way to get started then for the Italians. Won't take these too long to really start going through the gears, getting into a groove, Not the greatest service reception. Novakovsky then, who had the service reception. Well, he is convinced, and usually the players know, that it took a touch on the way through. It went long, and it was called long, but an immediate challenge will come in from Vitaly Heinen, who will trust his players. Novakovsky immediately pointed to the sideline and said, no, that took a touch on the way through. Not spotted by the officials, but that is why the replay is here, to clarify situations like this. An early challenge then for Poland. And did it take a touch? And indeed it did. So Novakovsky knew it. Heinen trusted his player. And the Poles, just like that, are on the board. Here is Novakovsky, closing in on 200 appearances for his country. Blocked brilliantly there. You'll see a lot of that. Mateusz Bieniek right in the middle of that gang of three. And he it was that had the stuff as Luigi Randazzo attacked. Repelled by Bieniek. That is one of the problems Italy face against this very strong blocking team. Oh, that's taken a very, very fortuitous net cord for the Poles. And that's finished off nicely by Shalpuk. He'll be looking to make another big contribution. With Heinen happy to rest and rotate his players, he's giving Artur Shalpuk every opportunity to showcase his skills. Shalpuk certainly responded against China in the last round of group matches, 16 points. Novakovsky will continue with serve. Well, nothing doing. Oh, yes, it was Randazzo getting through there. Well, learned his lesson here, Randazzo. Just took a little bit off it. And that was clever, because Bieniek had got himself over there. He just finessed it. Randazzo there, very clever. If he'd gone for the big power spike, that might have come straight back. Gabriele Nelli, the opposite hitter. Pretty inexperienced 24-year-old. That one is too good from Lukasz Kaczmarek. Nicely set up there by Fabian Drieske, who is going to see an awful lot of play over the next 3 days. Poland left Grzegorz Lomacz, their other experienced setter, at home. Marcin Komenda, a youngster, hasn't played yet at this level, the backup setter. Oh, you're not stopping that. Simone Anzani straight down Main Street. Big hit, great elevation. And anytime you get a big middle blocker getting elevation like that, that's pretty much impossible to defend. So both teams really have now settled into a groove, as we expected. Randazzo with a big serve, really aggressive serve. Shalpuk fails to beat the block. Anzani doesn't beat the block this time. Really good defensive work from them, and coming in from deep and getting the job done, Lukasz Kaczmarek. Now watch him top right of the screen. He's lurking. It's all about timing your run. The attack hit too good for the Italian defensive block. And an attack hit comes straight back at them the other way. Gabriele Nelli. Anything Poland can do, Italy can match. It's a carbon copy, that one. Timed his move to perfection there, Nelly. Yeah. Kaczmarek, brilliantly set up by Drieske. It has to be said, service reception so important as well, giving the setter plenty of options. He went to his wing spiker. Kaczmarek off to a quick start here. couldn't quite keep it in place. So Filippo Lanza will take the point and say thank you very much. Key member of that Rio silver medal winning team. Important component in the 2015 World Cup silver medal winning team as well, Filippo Lanza. And one of Gianlorenzo Blanghini's big hitters. Here's Gianelli, the young setter. Into the net. You will see players hit into the net and go long sometimes. At this level, you cannot play safe with your serves. You can't be conservative. Anything that you send in soft and gentle is just going to come straight back at you with interest. So players will mix it up and vary it, and occasionally that will lead to errors, as we saw there from Gianelli. Fabian Drižga will go for the big aggressive jump serve. Well, somehow they've managed to recycle that. Drižga got it over, and the block does it again. Well, this Polish blocking system is going to cause Italy some problems. There's no doubt about that at all. That was Novakovsky right at the heart of that. The Novakovsky-Bieniek partnership is a dominant one. Brilliant pickup there in the backcourt from Zatorski, the libero, and the job finished by Novakovsky. So we reach our first technical timeout. We get a technical timeout when a team reaches 8 points, another when a team reaches 16 points. And the first team there is Poland, leading this one 8-5. Two big blocks have helped to give Poland that narrow lead. To see the Italian flag flying in Osaka. Have a look at that one. Great reflexes from Kaczmarek, and the dig there from Zatorski is what helped set that up. Novakovsky will take the headlines, and it was the work of the libero Pavel Zatorski that did the damage. Poland start to introduce one or two lineup changes, just to freshen things up a little bit. Italians will bring Salvatore Rossini, their libero, out as well. And Fabian Drižga will continue with serve. Poland leading this 8-5. Once again, too good. That was Lanza. Denied. Novakovsky proved to be a real nuisance for Coach Blanghini already. Serve from Drižga. Great pickup there from Zatorski, but couldn't put it in play. The Italians turning up the heat here. Another one of those quick set middle hits. Mazzone saying, see you later. So the Italians looking just to tuck in here, not let this gap grow any bigger. The skipper Lanza will go for the aggressive jump serve that is all over the place. May even have been a footfall called there as he hit the net. It was another one of those serves that is a gamble. And the gamble will backfire every so often, but there is no point playing it safe. Bartosz Kowalek, a young wing spiker, checks into the lineup. The Volleyball Nations League represents his debut for his country. And Kowalek follows suit. Goes for a big aggressive one. That catches nothing but nylon. So here's Daniele Mazzone. Picked up by Lanza in the backcourt. And this time Randazzo gets another win. Well, they blocked him early, Luigi Randazzo, but he's had a couple of kills since then. And in the absence of Zaitsev and Juan Torina, Randazzo is gonna have to fill that void, and Luigi Randazzo playing his part here. As Italy close the gap, Mazzone continues with serve. That is well received. And that is the result. Anytime the service reception puts the setter in good position, look for the kill. Lukasz Kaczmarek coming in from wide, and even though the block was there, they couldn't control it. So Poland remaining in control of this one as Nowakowski goes back to serve. Served well last time he was up in the rotation. But that job finished nicely by Gabriele Nelli, who had plenty of court to find as well. A lovely one-handed set there from Gianelli. That was really creative work from the young setter, putting Nelli in a position where he couldn't really miss. That's what happens when you get a really good aggressive serve that works. Unfortunately for the Italians, they couldn't follow it up though, and it came back at them. Bieniek, their captain. Yeah, that's where it broke down for the Italians, and you knew once Lanza just had to dump it over that they were in trouble. Sure enough, Bieniek claiming the point, and Poland continue to enjoy an advantage here. Nelly comes up again, big time, down that right-hand side. Despairing dive, and in vain from Paweł Zatorski, who is closing in on 100 caps for his country, the libero. And Italy sticking around. Randazzo will go for the jump serve. Nicely taken there by Kwolek. In the backcourt, Randazzo doing defensive work. Lanza blocked out of it once again. This blocking scheme of the Poles is proving to be a real headache. They set Lanza up nicely, but just look, up they go. It's Drieska that gets it. He avoided Bieniek down the middle, but he had Jalpuk one side of him, and on the other side, Kwolek. No way through that gang of three. Again, the blocking from the Poles doing enough. Well, it's another point that goes in the Polish ledger. Blengini wants to take a look at this. Indeed he does. What happened right under the net there? That's what they'll be reviewing. The call initially went against the Italians, and Blengini just wants clarification that there was indeed a fault at the centre line. There will have to be conclusive evidence for any challenge to be effective. It will only be overturned on clear video evidence. And the officials taking their time reviewing this one. Artur Jalpuk, number 7 there for Poland. I'm sure he's got the ball in his hand, psychologically saying, yeah, I'm ready to serve. Now, have they seen anything that will overturn this? The wait goes on. Well, here we are. There is the review finally. As you can see very clearly, the call is a good one. Point stands. And the captain Filippo Lanza is just getting clarification of the call. And after that, Italy decide to take a timeout. Blenghini just want to fine-tune things a little bit. Sometimes it's about breaking the other team's momentum. Sometimes you've seen something that you just want to change. Well, Gianlorenzo Blenghini has very happy memories of international competition in Japan. He was here as an interim coach in charge of Italy when he led them to silver at the FIVB World Cup that year, and later on in that year, bronze at the European Championships. That was enough for the authorities to say, you're our guy. They made that permanent, and a year later, he took the Italians to Olympic silver in Rio. Play will resume with the Poles 4 points to the good, and the serve too good from Artur Szalpuk. And this first set now starting to run away from Italy. Randazzo struggling with service reception there. See if Szalpuk can find another one like that. Lanza saying that's coming back. Well, they needed to stop the rot right there, the Italians. This fake down the middle there from Anzani, but that was always headed in the direction of the skipper. Another one into the net. This time it's Anzani. So we reach the second technical timeout point with the Poles cruising along here in this opening set, in this battle between number 3 and number 4. Italy looking to get the bad taste of that shock shutout against Argentina last time up in the Volleyball Nations League, and Poland looking to get back on track after being tripped up by Germany last time out. Right now, the early honours belonging with Vital Heinen's side. Well, Gianelli is such a wonderful creative force as the Italian setup. We will see a lot of big plays from him. Equally, we will see a lot of blocks from the Poles. Most of these fans looking forward to seeing Japan taking on Bulgaria a little bit later on, when the house full signs will be up. And the early arrivers enjoying a pretty good contest between two of the top teams in the world right now. And a Simone Parodi fan in the house as well. Parodi on the bench at the moment for Italy. Very experienced outside hitter that Blenghini may well introduce at some point. Meanwhile, Mateusz Bieniek continues with serve. That was captain to captain, that was. Nelly can't find a winner. Nice block there from Gianelli. But again, it gets away from the Italians. Well, they're just in a comfort zone here at the moment, the Poles. And once again, Lanza, not for the first time in this match, has gone up to the chair for a conversation. Just haven't quite settled into a rhythm here, the Italians. Bieniek will continue with serve. Lanza, brilliant dig from Kwolek, but they can't put it back in play. Bartosz Kwolek did a great job here picking up the initial spike. Can't do much more than that, but Lukas Kaczmarek couldn't control the pass that was coming straight at him. So the Italians pick up an important point now. Can they pick up a few more on their own serve? Novakovsky can't find a winner this time. Nor can Fabio Lanza. Guess who was there again? Peter Novakovsky. Well, Novakovsky is having a dominant first set here. Another big block from the big middle blocker. That's more like it from Gabriele Nelli, who's been doing a lot of his work down the right-hand side, popping up on the other side. And still sending one that was too hot for the Polish blockers to handle. But they are still trailing, and trailing quite badly here as Lanza goes for one of those big jump serves. Brilliant pickup from Zatorski. What a dig that was. And off the block and out. Bartosz Kwolek will say thank you very much. The youngster. That is where it was all done, though. Zatorski absolutely brilliant, putting Drieska in a position where all he had to do was find an attacking player. And Kwolek finished the job. Textbook stuff. And Italy take a timeout and some running repairs for Daniele Mazzone there. Hopefully that's nothing too serious for him. Looks like it just stings rather than anything else. And Blenghini looking to effect some running repairs here. Well, you do see teams going on a run of points every once in a while, but usually at this level, it is very tough to overhaul a 6-point differential when the team in the lead is at 19 points, needing just another 6 to take the set. So the odds against Italy here in this first set, as Bartosz Kwolek, the 20-year-old, will serve. Recycled by Lanza. Another brilliant dig from Zatorski. Novakovsky can't beat Gianelli in the backcourt. Nelly with another big spike. Well, he's having quite a set here, Gabriele Nelly. The opposite hitter getting great elevation there. You need height and you need power to get past that Polish block. There were 3 of them there, and they couldn't stop Nelly. Now they need points on serve. What can Daniele Mazzone come up with for them? Zatorski again with a big dig, because Marcek can't find a winner. But it looks like Artur Szpalpuk can. And the 23-year-old wing spiker, who came into this game with 41 points in his Volleyball Nations League account, can add another one right there. 3 points in the set for him. And the Poles edging closer to taking this first set. Novakovsky. Great rescue in the backcourt there from Kwolek. And the job finished as well. And that's one Filippo Lanza might want to have back, because he was pretty close to the baseline when he stuck a fist out there. That is where it was rescued. Kwolek outstanding, but keep an eye on Lanza here at the backcourt. He may have been better advised to leave that, because that looked like it was traveling long. As it is, Szpalpuk will take the kill. And this time they do leave it, and it did go long, only just. It was a close one. Vital Heinen giving Novakovsky a rest. And Gabriele Nelly drops back to serve. He goes for the big jump serve, which also just goes long. That didn't miss by much at all. Close enough indeed for Blenghini to say, let's take another look. Well, the call was immediate, but it was certainly very close to the line, and they will bring out the technology to have a look at this one. Did it catch any of the line? Here comes the official clarification, and the call is good. But as you can see, that didn't miss by much. And with that, you suspect Italy's last hope in this first set has effectively gone, as Lukas Kaczmarek goes back to serve, with the Poles needing 3 points for this first set, leading by 7. A jump serve. Oh. Simone Parodi stepping up with the super spike. Well, this is one of those you're not stopping this hits that got rid of a lot of frustration. Yeah, Simone Parodi has been around. He was in the 2012 Olympic squad for the Italians. Didn't make Rio. A lot of experience he brings to the show. Here he is with serve. Oh, the attack hit from Kwolek. Timed perfectly. Now, in comes young Marcin Komenda, the setter. And Damian Schultz, another player with very little international experience. So Heynen certainly giving his players plenty of chances here. No chance for anybody there as Giulio Sabbi came in. Another guy that's been around the block, Sabbi, over 100 caps for his country and a part of that 2015 World Cup silver medal winning squad, bringing his experience into play there as the Italians look to delay the inevitable here. Bieniek with a big kill straight down the middle. Quick set, easy put away, never in doubt. Set point Poland. And it is the captain who will serve for it. They've been in front early. They've never really been challenged. Can they seal the deal on serve here? They may have a chance. And they do just that. Another breakdown defensively for the Italians. That should never have been allowed to drop, but drop it did. And in the end, the Poles rather ran away with it. 25-17. That is not what the Italians needed, not after their 3-0 drubbing against Argentina in South America last time out. They've dropped the first set, and it was comfortable for the Poles as well. 25-17. The reigning world champions have taken that one as they look to get back on track to winning ways in the Volleyball Nations League. Top of the table with a 5-1 record, 15 points. But it's pretty congested in this race for a place in the finals round. Italy currently on the outside looking in as well, so they can ill afford to drop points here. But it's the Poles that have looked more composed, more assured. And some of their blocking has been absolutely magnificent today. It really is a team strength. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from that first set then. So that's some of the big plays from the opening set. Let's have a look at where the Poles are dropping their serves. And that's a pretty even spread, that as well. You'll see some teams really concentrate on one area, but the Poles keeping the Italians guessing, spreading it around the court. And at the moment, looking pretty comfortable. And not missing their captain, Michael Kubiak, or their top middle blocker, Jakub Kokonowski. And it gives you an indication of the strength and depth they have as the Italians look to try and get back on track here, but one of the big problems they've got is these Polish middle blockers. Kokonowski left at home, and the job that Nowakovski's been doing. Bieniek got a youngster as well in Bartolomej Lemansky, who is an absolute monster. Real skyscraper. He sat on the bench waiting for his chance to show what he can do as well. They really do have some big blockers, the Poles. And if the Italians can't work that one out, that little conundrum, it's going to be difficult for them to get a win here. It's certainly going to be a problem for the host nation Japan looking forward. They are not a big blocking team. The Poles you would expect to dominate when those two go head to head. That's for the future. Right now, Poland taking the first set against Italy, the world number 3, leading the world number 4 1-0, 25-17 as well. It was comfortable for them. Bartosz Kwolek, the youngster, picked up 3 points in that first set. Will get the second set underway. Really clever serve that. You are allowed to do that. Now that's really great improvisation. Well, Lanza finishes the job. Well, Italy might not be going to the Football World Cup, but they certainly know how to use their feet in this volleyball team. That was absolutely brilliant from Rossini. You can use any part of your body. What a third touch that was. And it's given the Italians the point, and that is all on the veteran libero. 36 years old, Rossini. But he's always been a very creative defensive scurrier for them. Hasn't played a lot this year in the Volleyball Nations League. But that really was a piece of pure brilliance. Nearly trying to finesse that one. That didn't work, and that did work. The outside hit from Nowakovski, whose height is causing real problems for the Italians. So Poland up and running now. Here is Nowakovski with serve. Another one dispatched with venom. Well, Gabriele Nelli is doing some real damage from the outside. He's finding some good angles. Here he is with serve. Great defense. Both sides. There's another one, Lanza with the dig. And Lanza can try and finish it off, but he can't. More defense. Oh, and they've won the battle at the net. Simone Anzani getting the better of Nowakovski there. Well, a real good mega rally. A terrific serve that started that rally off, and great defense on both sides. That'll do Anzani's confidence a world of good that he's won that duel at the net. Now, can Nelli find another aggressive serve like that one? That previous one, it gave Italy the initiative. It's another beauty. Kwolek has handled it very well, though, and the job has been finished by Shalpuk. Give an assist there to the service receiver, Bartosz Kwolek. Handled that brilliantly. All Drishka had to do was set up the on-rushing Shalpuk, and the end result inevitable. Yeah, likewise, returned with interest. Anzani once again. Terrific service reception. Lanza setting up his setter, Gianelli, with all kinds of options. And anytime you can just get a quick set like that, it gives the block no chance to get established. Textbook stuff from the Italians there. Randazzo into the net. You can see exactly what it was he was trying to do. take those nets. They are going to come. Schalpuk will serve, looking to add to his 6 points in the match so far. Lanza cannot beat the block. Oh, now did it take a touch on the way through? Yes, it did, is the call. Now, players will know. And Gianelli is talking to Gianlorenzo Blenghini there. He'll let him know. If he felt it touch his finger, he won't tell his coach to challenge that, and he knew. So it did take a touch. Good call. Lanza taking a step back, lowering the boom. And too good for the block. Rossini, the libero, in the backcourt there. For all those bodies he's got to beat. Just driving it past Bieniek. A lot of scrambling going on here. Lanza just has to dump it back in. Chance for the Poles to regroup. The block good. Second touch from Driska. Not effective. And they are paid. They are punished for it as well. The Italians fighting back here. Well, Fabian Driska made the decision to take the second touch. It did not catch the Italians napping. Really good rally again. One of many we've seen in this match. Zani setting up Nelly. And Nelly's power once again. Good enough. How wide he is. Even though there was a man in the backcourt, Artur Schalpuk could get no control on that at all. Way too much heat on that spike from Gabriele Nelli. And the Italians keep their noses in front here. Simone Anzani will continue with serve. Talking about bringing the heat, what about Bartosz Kwolek? That is what you call a kill. Vital Heinen must be pretty happy with the way some of his fringe players, the likes of Kwolek, are able to shine given their opportunity. Bieniek is definitely not a fringe player, serves into the net. Fabio Balasso, the young libero, checking in for Italy. We'll be hoping to get to the first technical timeout with a 3-point advantage. The Poles, of course, will have other ideas. Simone Gianelli will serve. Another big, aggressive jumper fielded by Kwolek. And job finished by Kazmarek. No, it's not. Blocked into the net. So Italy do indeed get to the technical timeout, and Poland will be disappointed to let that last point slip away, because the service reception was good, but Kazmarek unable to finish the job. So Italy with a comfort zone here. Helped, it has to be said, by a bit of football from Salvatore Rossini. Volleyball, definitely part of the Japanese sporting culture. They enjoy it, they appreciate it, they know it. And they will be loud when their country comes out to take on Bulgaria a little bit later on today. First, Italy and Poland have one or two issues to settle. Gianelli, the 21-year-old, will serve. Blocked out of it again. Lukas Kazmarek foiled for a second point in a row. Driska with the reverse set. And Lanza there to say, don't bring it here. it'll come back at you. So the Italian captain with a big block, and the Italians building up a useful lead here. Gianelli, who's a pretty good blocker himself, will continue with serve. Once again, Kazmarek can't find the kill. Lanza also blocked out of it. And not blocking that, Daniele Mazzone straight down Main Street. Well, that's enough for Vital Heinen. Sometimes you call a timeout because you want to make a adjustment. Sometimes you just want to stop the other team building up a head of steam, and that is what Italy are doing right now. A couple of quick points on the Gianelli serve, and this is quite a gap opening up here. Well, it's still early enough in the set for the Poles to turn this one around. But Italy playing with much more confidence and authority at the moment than we saw in the first set, where they fell behind early and were always chasing. Well, they're not chasing anymore. Gianelli will continue with serve, picked up by Schalpuk and put away by Novakovsky. Another quick set. Anytime you can get a quick set to your big middle blockers and they get elevation if they time it right, pretty much impossible to defend. Fabian Drižga, the setter. One of these very experienced Poles with over 100 international appearances to his name. Fielded by Rossini. Lanza doing a really good job. He was falling backwards there when he went for the cross court, but he still managed to keep enough control to make sure he gets some of the line there. Really big, powerful hit. Well, Lanza certainly has been going through the gears in this second set. And the Italians continue to enjoy that healthy lead. Now, can Lanza help pad it out a little bit more? Took a touch on the way through from Novakovsky. Schalpuk with the service reception. Easy for Drižga to find the on-rushing Novakovsky. And you don't stop those. Now they need some points on their own serve, though. Drižga with a big one. Randazzo not exactly handling it particularly well, but he can get the finishing touch here, can he? Yes, he can. Well, it wasn't the greatest service reception from Luigi Randazzo, but he did enough to keep it alive, and he was able to finish the job as well. Great second touch there. Helped him to put him in a strong position. Mazzone getting back there to put Randazzo in a good position. And Mazzone will now serve, with Italy still leading by 5. Oh, he's gone for a big one that has gone too big. Now Randazzo is arguing that that took a touch on the way through. So, again, Blenghini will have to trust his players. Randazzo's response was immediate. Well, if it has taken a touch, he's a little bit fortunate because that one did look wayward. Vital Heinen hoping that won't have caught a finger on the way through. Now, did it? Oh, he's miles away. Not sure what Luigi Randazzo saw there. But no touch is confirmed. And the challenge is burned. Novakovsky. serve. Great block there. Comes straight back as well from Bieniek. Bieniek once again irresistible. But Nelly, oh yes, now that's more like it. That was a defensive wall the Poles threw up there. Bieniek twice denied him. When they went again, Nelly, who's their banker, finds Bieniek yet again. 3 blocks in a row for Mateusz Bieniek. And off the back of that, the Italians say, whoa, let's stop that. Lenghini doesn't want to see the Poles get their blocking scheme back up like that again.
Anche se non c'è il libero. Ragazzi, una cosa, stiamo lavorando bene, la battuta sul 7, il 4 sta aiutando bene, però con la perfetta, il 5 più lungo e il 6 ragazzi, andiamo avanti, cambio palla, andiamo.
Well, that really was a particularly impressive sequence defensively from the Poles, and Mateusz Bieniek in particular. First sign of concern in this second set for Italy then produces the timeout. But they're still comfortable, the Italians, as Novakovsky continues with serve. That's better from Nelly. That was a must-win point, you got the feeling, for the Italians. And he just got it off the left arm of Artur Szalpuk. Nelly continues to impress with his power hitting. Talking about impressing, Lukas Kaczmarek finding plenty of space for the kill. Lovely little reverse set from Drzyzga. Kaczmarek, too good for the block. Damian Schultz, an opposite hitter, comes into the lineup as Vital Heinen shuffles his deck. And the Poles continue to creep closer. Well, they push that one long. And young Marcin Komenda, the debutant setter, also comes in. 22-year-old. Luigi Randazzo. A real big high ball toss, so aggressive. But there is always the risk when you go for a serve like that you're gonna find too much net, as he did there. But Italy still cruising here as Simone Parodi comes in, the veteran. Well, now then, that's a missed opportunity, and he hasn't missed many, Gabriele Nelli. They set him up nicely, but Nelli couldn't find the court, and suddenly the Poles have closed up just a little bit. Let's see if Italy can hold their nerve here. Lanza can't find a winner. Great pickup from Rossini. And they've won the duel at the net, importantly. Italy needed that one. Well, all about Rossini keeping that one alive. And Gianelli making sure that Italy won the battle at the net there. Well, the Poles asking some questions now. See how the Italians can respond. Great dig from Nelly. And Lanza finishes the job as well, and it's a good response from the guys in the blue vests. They get to the second technical timeout point. Back in control of this set. 16-12 they lead it. Having dropped the first set 25-17. so clever there from Lanza, wasn't it? This Polish blocking scheme is so strong. You've got to be a little bit creative in beating it. You don't just blast your way through it. That's not going to work. Let's push it down the line. You might get a touch on the way through, as they did there. That's how you do it. So play resumes with the Italians in control of this second set. It's clever there from Schultz. The Poles need a quick run of points here. Nice little set there from Commander as well. And Schultz just pushing it over. That'll settle young Commander down as well. Oh, there we go, back to doing what they do so well as Bartosz Kwolek. Not one of their big beasts at the net, but he's the one that came up with that play. Nelly, great penetration though from Kwolek to deny him. And the Poles on a bit of a charge here. That's snuffed out right there, though, by Mazzoni. Assured service reception from Lanza, putting the setter in position to set up a teammate for the kill. Sometimes the game is really as easy as that. Gianelli will continue with serve. Italy up by 3. Dig in the backcourt there. Lanza though can't find a winner, and they're scrambling here. Nelly denied. Lanza goes for finesse. Brilliant rescue there from Zatorski, but the job finished by the man that really has had plenty to say in this second set. That is a tremendous rescue. What a dig from Zatorski. And then Nelly with the block. Just when it looked like they were wobbling the Italians, they've got the ship back on course. Vital Hayden says, okay, I'll call a timeout then.
Yeah, watch now, Lanza second or third time he thinks you are deep, so don't then. Maybe he saw the defense, then you have to keep an eye. Good thing.
Vital Hayden joined Poland in February of this year with the brief to get the team onto the podium in the Olympics. He coached Germany to a bronze medal in the World Championships back in 2014. That's where he really made his name as an international coach. He's got such a talented squad to work with in Poland. Lorenzo Blenghini knows all about getting a medal at the Olympic Games, of course. Many podium finishes at the highest level for Italy down the years. Silver at Rio, bronze in London, silver in Atlanta 96, Athens 2004, bronze in LA back in 1984. That's a body of work. Yeah, job finished by Bartosz Kwolek. Good rally that, and a clever hit bisecting the two defenders. Kwolek, Commander out, Kaczmarek back in. Poland certainly haven't given up this second set, far from it, but they need a couple of points on serve to just get a little bit closer. See what Damian Schultz can come up with. Well, that's all about the pickup in the backcourt by the libero. Just perfect control on that jump serve from Salvatore Rossini, coming up with yet another big defensive play. That was a really good serve. Rossini just took all the bite out of it. Schultz will now sit down. And the setter Fabian Drischka will come back in, as Lanza will continue with serve and into the net. But they're still comfortable here, the Italians. Gianlorenzo Blenglini doesn't exactly look it. Coaches never look relaxed though, do they? So he'll look a lot less relaxed if the Poles can pick up a couple of points on serve. Kwolek. He's found the dig as well, Kwolek. Shalpuk can't find the kill. He'll have another go at it, and he's blocked out of it again. Great rescue from Novakovsky. More great defensive work from the Italians. And eventually, there is contact at the net, and the Italians, it's a lift in fact. And it's not argued either. Well, no, it is going to be argued. They're going to take another look at that. A lift was called against the Polish player, Kaczmarek, I think it was. Vital Haynen's not sure he saw it that way. So he's decided to get that reviewed, and if this does go the Poles' way, that certainly puts a different perspective on the scoreline. If it doesn't, you would think this second set might just be beyond his side. Now, the officials will have to see something definitive to overturn their original decision. Well, this one is being thoroughly scrutinized. This is one of those you can't rush either. But you'll have to see something that will clearly overturn the original verdict. It's another long challenge, this one. Gianlorenzo Blenglini, probably not the only person thinking this has gone on too long now. Let's get on with it. The officials will deliberate until they are happy. This is the second big review. No touch is the verdict. And after all that, we move on. Well, that surely will settle this second set. One that got away. Daniele Mazzone clearly used the long delay there to put an extra bit of hot sauce on that serve. Yeah, too much there from Shalpuk. Took a nice angle. And even though Lanza was in the back court, there's absolutely no way you can control the spike hit with that ferocity. So the kill for Shalpuk. But still, Italy pretty comfortable here. Novakovsky, well, a little bit less comfortable now. Talking about putting a little bit of extra hot sauce on your serves, Pyotr Novakovsky took a leaf out of the Daniele Mazzone recipe book right there. And Simone Parodi, the veteran, couldn't deal with it. terrific service reception. And it's found the line. Nicely done. Again, when you get the service reception right, good things tend to follow. And Parody had the radar finely tuned for that kill deep into the back court. 3 points from the set then, as Gabriele Nelli will go for one of his big aggressive jumpers. Too good from Schalpuk. Poland sticking around here. Great dig in the first place there from Schalpuk, who started and finished that point. Oh my goodness me, he came from way back, didn't he, Gabriele Nelli? This is quite a display of power hitting he's putting on. Look at him, he's right in the back corner there. Here he comes, charge, take cover. That's coming straight at you. He was way back, wasn't he? And he timed it to perfection. And he's put Italy on the threshold of this second set. They'll have to wait as Mateusz Bieniek goes to work down the middle. Quick set, that's so easy. All Drieschke had to do was feed the big fella. Took it at the top of the arc with inevitable consequences. Schalpuk. Rescue there from Rossini, the libero. Nearly denied. Lanza denied. Oh, that's more like it. The Poles getting back to what they do so well. Fabian Drieschke was there. Nothing wrong with the set, nothing wrong with the hit, except that Fabian Drieschke had got the block set up to perfection, and the Poles refusing to go quietly here. You just wonder psychologically what this might do to the Italians if they were to let this slip. Lorenzo Blanghini recognizes the importance of the next 2 or 3 points here. It was a long, long journey from South America to Asia for Blanghini's jet-lagged squad. Poles had enjoyed home comforts before hitting the road. Both coming in off a defeat as well. This is one of those games that you always sense could potentially define their Volleyball Nations League campaign. Schalpuk with serve once again. Lanza blocked out of it. No, did that drop? No, it didn't. Just outside. Will Haynen take a look at that? Yes, he will. In a situation like this, I think he's absolutely right to, even if he's not sure. Because if it stands, it is set point. And it hasn't missed by much, has it? It was worth a look. Well, it's the Italians at set point. Yeah, too strong. Well, they finished that set out really strongly. Well, there's still a bit of a conversation going on here. Has that been overturned? Net touch is the call, and that's going to be reviewed. So we get another challenge from Gian-Lorenzo Blanghini. Simone Gianelli protesting his innocence. So, put the celebrations on hold. The The Italians need this call to be overturned before they can exhale and get ready for a third set. Well, we've had a few dramas already in this match with reviews. Hainen not concerning himself with things too much. As the referee decides to take matters into his hands and review the situation. So is he happy? Or do the Italians have this second set in the bag? Nobody knows. We are about to find out. Here it is, the official review. Is there a net touch there? As Giannelli and Mazzone go up? No, there is not. So that'll do it. (25-21) then. The second set goes in favour of the Italians. That's exactly what they needed. Well, they proved that they can hold their nerve in the face of a Polish challenge, but the Poles, whilst they pushed hard, they were never able to make a dent into that early deficit. And the Italians held firm, the number 4 team in the world, shrugging off that slow start to get themselves right back in business here. It's been a really good, entertaining match so far. You get the feeling the best may be yet to come. The Poles, the number 1 team right now in the Volleyball Nations League, looking to hold that position. They will want 3 points for a 3-1 victory. You only get 2 points if it's a 3-2 victory. Let's just review some of the big plays that we've seen so far. So let's take a look at the numbers then from the second set. And it really was where Gabriele Nelli in particular came to the fore, helped by Filippo Lanza. 14-9. They win the spike battle, and that has proved to be a big difference maker between the two teams in what was otherwise a pretty even second set statistically. But having dropped the first one 25-17, Italy take the second set 25-21, and all bets are off now. So Vital Hainen is making his point to his players, and Gianlorenzo Blenghini doing the same on the other side of the net. It wouldn't be a huge surprise to see this going to a fifth set. So similar in so many ways, these two teams. Both teams, by coincidence, leaving their 2 top point scorers in the Volleyball Nations League this season at home. That's why you have rosters. So you can give players a breather if you need to. Well, the Poles will be hoping to try and re-establish their dominant blocking that we saw so much of in the first set and a lot less of in the second set. The Italians will be hoping to continue to be creative with their spiking. As they've obviously learned very quickly, they can't just bludgeon their way through this Polish blocking scheme. They are much more thoughtful in their work in that second set. Let's see what they do here in set 3, which Simone Parodi will begin. And, early mistake there from the Italians. Wasn't the best service reception. I think the Italians were licking their lips there, thinking, yeah, we can have a piece of this. Just a net violation, though. And Novakovsky. It's perfect timing for him to pop up in the rotation as server. Doesn't put a lot on that, though, this time. And the second touch is taken by Gianelli. To good effect. Zani, the big middle blocker. Good serve. Nicely done there by Shalpuk. Clever that. That's a little push down the line. Gianelli couldn't react quick enough. Kaczmarek with a really good serve. The Parody found a little bit too hot. So he'll say, yeah, I'll take that. Give me the ace serve there. Thank you very much, Mr. Statistician. And they will. Well, that's all they're going to get. Nevertheless, Kaczmarek will say, well, I got a point on my serve, so my job's done. And the early breakthrough for the Italians. Very, very early in this set, it has to be said. Let's see what can happen now as Simone Gianelli goes to work. He's thrown up a few aces in this competition. He's had 8 through the first 6 matches, Gianelli. Didn't get another one there, and indeed it was dispatched with interest by Artur Shalpuk. Great pickup from Shalpuk, who started it and finished it. That was indeed a super spike from Shalpuk, who is in double figures for the match so far in terms of points, but goes into the net there. Lanza with a big one. Brilliant rescue from Gianelli. Oh, well, that was all about the dig from Simone Gianelli. And that's been recognized by every one of his teammates on court right there. That's what made that point. The rest of it was easy. And they all went over there to congratulate the young setter for his defensive work. And the second set level. Lanza will continue with this big serve of his. And that's come straight back at him, though, from Lukasz Kaczmarek. And Bartosz Kwolek will go back to serve. Yeah, well left. It was always just drifting, wasn't it? into the net. Well, the points are piling up pretty quickly here in this third set. Both coaches recognizing the importance of this third set as well. Very different serve coming in there. Ooh, that was a wild one, but it took a touch on the way through. So Bartosz Kwolek will say thank you very much. And there it is. So Fabian Drzyzga will continue with serve. He floated the last one in. Let's see if he looks for a bit of power this time. No? Sticks with what works for him. And that is a block. That really is. It was Nelly steaming in. And Bartosz Kwolek defensively there. And we reach the first technical timeout point with the youngster Bartosz Kwolek making his mark. Personally responsible for the last 2 points. And Poland now with a bit of a lead. There he is. Well, he was on his own as well. One-on-one. You would fancy Nelly to win that battle 9 times out of 10. But he spread himself wide there, Kwolek, and he made absolutely the right decision. Big right hand on that. Always psychologically so good for a player when you can win one of those one-on-one duels at the net. So Fabian Drzyzga will continue with what's been a very productive serve. Oh, that's travelling and travelling, but it came off the block. Block touch for parody. Clearly from Novakovsky. Let's see what Nelly can come up with. Italy trailing here in the early going. Too long. Rueful look there from Nelly, but he's not going to argue it. And Bartosz Kwolek. Going for an aggressive one. Oh, my goodness me, Lanz has done a great job with the pickup. And once again, Simone Parodi has taken advantage of a Polish finger as that one went through. And once again, it looks like Novakovsky. That's a carbon copy of the previous one, isn't it? Not stopping that one. And a backside hit from Lukas Kaczmarek. Oh, I got caught in 2 minds there. Giannelli tried to take it on the second touch and it didn't work. And all about making the right decision at the right time, and you can see what he's thinking there. He wasn't quite in a position to make that second touch. Just like that, this second set is running away fast. We saw it in set 1 and set 2. Once you've got a lead of 4 or 5 points, it's very difficult for the other guys to come back at you. And Gian Lorenzo Blenghini calling a timeout before this gap gets any wider.
Hai fatto molti salti contro il primo tempo, mentre Mazzo alterna, primo tempo.
Here's Novakovsky, whose serves can prove to be a bit of a handful. Not on this occasion. Simone Anzani. Oh, yes. Or was it? Yes, confirmation. Did seem to take a touch on the way through. But not called. And the Poles immediately will challenge that. Well, the reaction from Artur Shalpuk, you would think told a story there, because he immediately said, well, yeah, we need to look at that again. And he is right by the slenderest of margins. Some you win. Shalpuk obviously knew something there, but I don't think even he realised it was as close as that. That was an inspired call from Shalpuk, if a little bit fortuitous. Kaczmarek with the big jumper. Oh, no, he took it that time on the second touch, Gianelli. And everybody on the other side of the court were waiting for the set to Mazzone. That's what they were ready to defend. Gianelli had other ideas. Such a wonderfully creative setter. Such an array of weapons he's got. Not stopping that one though, Bieniek. Quick spike straight down the middle. So hard to defend. Mazzone was there with a despairing attempt at a block, but he never had much of a chance. So the Poles maintaining their authority here in this third set. Pick up as well there from Kaczmarek. Really good dig. And they just have to dump it over so the Italians can mount a challenge of their own, which Lanza does. Even though Bartosz Kwolek attempted the block, he couldn't keep it in play. So Lanza winning that duel. The Italians sticking close, but they still have a deficit to make up here. Lanza. That deficit won't be eroded just yet. Well, that wasn't the greatest service reception. Gianelli had to try and be creative with the second touch. Yeah, it was not going their way at all off the reception from Lanza. Italy now forced to burn another timeout just ahead of the technical timeout. And a lot more animation from Gianlorenzo Blenghini here. Been a very enjoyable match so far, as we expected, between two of the top 4 teams in the world. Poland, the reigning world champions. Italy, the Olympic silver medalists. They've served up a good one. One set apiece. But the Poles look like they're running away with this third set here. Let's see if that continues. Second technical timeout approaching, and it will arrive right there after another miss from Lanza. And this third set is turning into a one-way street at the moment, and the Poles in the driving seat. was absolutely brilliant from Gianelli there with the second touch, but most of the big plays have been coming from the guys in the red and white vests. And the last couple of points, service reception problems for the Italians. And what was a narrow lead has become a chasm. Poland now comfortably in control of this one. Is there any way back for them? Or will Italy have to go the distance if they want to get the win here? One set apiece, but Poland cruising towards this third set, leading 16-10. And finally, the Mateusz Bieniek serve is over. But you suspect the damage has already been done. Brilliant spike from Mazzone. Well, there's a long, long, long way back for the Italians from here. Yeah, Mazzone's serve really not challenging the Poles at all. An easy service reception, and everything just flowed from that. That's what happens if you just send over a serve that is pretty comfortable to handle. It's coming straight back. That's why you see players really do gamble with the big aggressive serves. Strizka putting that one in. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Guess what? Fyodor Novakovsky was saying, don't bring it here. Well, that is a monster block from the big guy at the heart of the Polish defense. Nelly, lovely set from Gianelli. Serves of his great pickup from Zatorski, and the Poles can say thank you very much to their libero as well, because he just made a terrific service reception there. Nice bit of creative work from Strizka, and Kwolek with the put away. And it's the 20-year-old wing spiker, Bartosz Kwolek, who will continue here. Rescued at the back by Rossini, and I think he's missed one there. Nelly. No, it's been overturned. Was there contact at the net? Either way, this has been challenged. Well, the hit from Nelly looked like it went wide. Been some contact at the net there, as they're going to have another look at this. That's certainly what the call has been. I'm not sure that Vital Hayden agrees with that call, so we'll have another challenge. They take another look at it. And we can now move on. Good challenge then from the Poles. Just long. was called long. Vital Heinen's not convinced it was. So we'll get another challenge. Well, he got the last one right. Let's see if he gets this one right. This is pretty straightforward stuff. Bring out Hawkeye. And Hawkeye will confirm that was indeed well long. Some you win, some you lose. Right now, Vital Heinen's side are winning this third set comfortably. But the rhythm of it has been completely broken. Off the back of these challenges. That probably may not do the Italians much good either. Now that's a way to get yourself back into business. Simone Parodi just targeting Shalpuk, and unfortunately for him, Zatorski decided, the libero, that he would try and get a piece of that. Again, it's all about split-second decision-making, and Zatorski hasn't got many wrong, and he should have left that one for Shalpuk. And Parodi doesn't care. Oh, that was a really clever serve. Look at that, he's set up as if he was going to send in the big bomb once again, and took everything off it. And it left Zatorski desperately scrambling from the backcourt. And an easy put away for Giulio Sabi. Well, a couple of quick points here for the Italians. But still a long way back. Great rescue, unfortunately, for Luca Spirito. It drops wide. That's the good news for the Poles. Courtesy of Artur Shalpuk, they are back in business. Well, they needed a contribution from Shalpuk. He's in double figures on the match for the Poles. The only Pole to be in double figures. So he's playing his part. The job defensively there as well. And the job finished off on the backside by Lukas Kaczmarek. He's had a pretty good third set. Lukas Kaczmarek, helped by Driesga's reverse set. And that was a kill all the way. And the Poles have pretty much killed off this third set now as well. Spirito cannot find a winner, and they were always scrambling after that. Oh, there it is, into the net from Anzani. Well, it's a show of defiance there from Filippo Lanza. Surely has come far too late in the day to do anything about this. It's always nice when you can win a battle against three blockers. Good for morale, if nothing else, but that's all that Italy are going to get out of this third set. It's just a matter of when the Poles win it. And they are now at set point. And a bunch of them as well. Don't stop those. Out goes Driesga to be replaced by Komenda. Schultz comes back in as well for the Poles. Schultz replaces Kaczmarek. And here is the young setter, Marcin Komenda, who will serve for this third set. Well, they'll have to wait for it. And here's Giulio Sabi for Italy, part of that 2015 World Cup silver medal winning team. And he's sent in a zinger that just zings almost into the crowd, and that'll do it. It's another pretty comfortable set for the Poles. They won the first set 25-17. They won the third set 25-17. In between those two, a 25-21 win for Italy. So it all means that the Poles are now 2-1 to the good, needing just one more set to wrap this one up. And Italy needing another fight back right here to force a deciding fifth set. Much more like it from the Poles. And once again, it's the same old story. The team that gets in front first is good enough to hold that lead. There is no way back, it would seem, at this level if you fall behind by 3 or 4 points. And in the end, the gap in that third set just got wider and wider and wider. Big plays right across the board for the Poles. Bartosz Kwolek stood out. It's a really good set for Lukas Kaczmarek as well. Piotr Nowakowski with contributions. 4 blocks for Nowakowski in the match so far. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from that third set. Well, the Poles in the Volleyball Nations League thus far have enjoyed 4 out of 5 victories in straight sets. Canada did take a set off them before losing 3-1. And of course, they went down in their last match against Germany. They will not be a straight sets win here as we look at the set of contact points. You always want to put your setter in a position where he can make the play for the guy coming in for the attack. And that third set, it was okay. It could be better, but it was still good enough. And Fabian Drieska put in a good position 50% of the time. That arc is the ideal. But when you've got really good, versatile setters like Drieska and like Simone Gianelli, he's going out a shot there for the Italians. They are able to make plays from anywhere on the court. And ideally, give them a position where they've got options. Well, there's no option now for the Italians. They have to win this fourth set. Otherwise, we can put this one in the record books. Bartosz Kwolek, who's had an extended workout in this match, to open up this fourth set. An early win there for Simone Parodi against the Polish bloc. Get it back here. He's just pushed it long, Parody, but he's saying there's a touch on the way through now. Does he feel confident enough to request the challenge? Called out on the court. And Parody thought about it, then thought, I'm not 100% about that, so let's not burn a challenge. Nowakowski. Oh. What good judgment there from the Italians. That's called out, and it dropped in just beyond the line. Really close. Close enough for Vital Heinen to say, let's take another look. It was certainly close. Well, probably is worth a second look. How close? not close enough. Seemed closer than that in real time. But nevertheless, the officiating crew on the ground got that one absolutely right. And Poles have burned an early challenge here. Gabriele Nelli will go for another big one. Great rescue again. There's Palazzo. Well, they were doing so much defensive work there, the Italians, weren't they? Eventually, Parodi goes in for the kill. But, although the call has gone against them, Parodi looked at his coach and said, there might be a net touch there. Let's go and have a look. Now, there isn't always a net touch. You see the net move, sometimes because the ball hits it, but sometimes a fingertip touches it as well, and that's what Gianlorenzo Blenghini is hoping for right here. The call against the Italians at the moment. Is there a touch? Well, the Poles have already blown a challenge here. Well, the Italian's going to blow one here as well. Or is it a good call? Let's have a look. Doesn't seem to be anything there, does there? No. No, they both lost one. The call stands. So who's going to make the first break for it here? Still 2-2 in this fourth set. Oh, the attack hit from Filippo Lanza had to be accurate, and it was. Coming from way back. Just got a bit of the baseline. Twice. Well, the block got him first time. They were able to recycle it, but the block too good the second time. And it's the setter, Drijka, was up there. And I think it was Artur Shalpuk on the far side as we look that got the decisive touch. And he's certainly celebrating. Being a team game, the Poles won't care who got it, as long as somebody gets it. And it was certainly Shalpuk. Nelly certainly got that one. Down the line. And Nelly's been quite a weapon. Not an awful lot that they could do about that. That was Zatorski just waving an arm at it as it went through. So we still wait for the first breakthrough. Does it come here? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The big block from Simone Gianelli, who is a very good blocker. Well, this is a big one. It is his 13th block of this Volleyball Nations League campaign, and it's given Italy the early breakthrough. It's immediately sent back, though. Clever there from Kwolek. Didn't put on the power show. And there was absolutely no momentum on that ball for Gianelli to get it back. But nevertheless, the Poles need to find a point on serve just to get back level in this one. Doesn't come there, though. Daniele Mazzone with the easiest of putaways. Clean kill straight down the gut there from Mazzone. Yeah, and that's a winner from Nelly. And all coming off Artur Shalpuk's problem in handling the serve. And Poland already facing an early deficit here. That's enough of Vital Heinen. We have seen throughout this match that a narrow lead like this one here has been impossible to overcome.
I still think that Guinea is only scoring now. He wasn't 100%, now he was missing, but he's still very high, so Guinea there. He should be able to take the load. Volo, of course, cannot go too much. Should get,
Well, it's early in the set, but has it got away from them already? The Poles are chasing this one. The host nation, Japan, will be in action a little later on as they take a Bulgaria team in a little bit of disarray. Great opportunity potentially for Japan to keep up with the front runners. That's for later. Poland and Italy dueling away now. We seem to be heading for a fifth set here. Although a bit of spite there from Lucas Kaczmarek, coming in from way back. And Fabio Balasso, the libero, had absolutely no chance at that. Clean kill then from Kaczmarek. Power point from him. He has 6 on the competition, on the match, should I say, so far. Lanza, good enough. This is the problem that the Poles are going to face. It's just chipping away at that deficit. We get to the first technical timeout with the Italians 3 points to the good. We have not seen a front runner overhauled in this match yet. Poland went out early in the first and third sets. The Italians in the second set. And the leader has held that lead throughout. If that plays out here in set 4, we will go to a decider. And I don't think there'll be too many people in this crowd very unhappy about that either. They've enjoyed this one. It's been good. So here's Filippo Lanza, the Italian captain, with serve. Italy leading 8-5, fourth set. You can make that 9-5. Yeah, that was one that got away there for Peter Nowakovski. He would have expected to put that one in play. What a serve that was. Well, Lanza nicely disguising it once again. He's had Zatorski scrambling away. Andriesga requests clarification.
Okay.
No, there is indeed no challenge, which seems to have confused everybody. Lanza sends another one in. And has Zatorski scrambling around. Yeah, Nelly too good again. A constant weapon, Gabriele Nelly. Beautiful set. Nearly getting the job done once again, and a timeout has been called again by the Poles. Well, they can't seem to get any rhythm going here in this fourth set.
Guys, come on, guys. Back in the game. We stole a point from that. That's something. We stole a point, so do that.
Well, that wasn't the most technical timeout you'll ever hear from Vital Heinen. Just saying, let's get back in the game. It's going to take a lot to get back into this fourth set, though. As we've already seen 3 times, when a team has a lead like this, it's impossible to overhaul it. Now, what can the Poles do, though, to turn that around? At the moment, the Italians look like they're ready to take this one into a 5th set. If it does go to a 5th set, the winning team will take 2 points and the losing team will take 1. Meanwhile, more conversations with the referees. Well, nobody on the Polish side is very happy at all. But we will now continue with Italians leading 11-5 and Filippo Lanza sending in another zinger. Well, they've had no momentum at all in this fourth set. Poland, let's see if they can come up with something here. As Bartosz Wolek does just enough. The block unable to keep it in play. They are going to have to rack up some points on serve pretty quickly from somewhere. Can they find one here from Zwolek? Wolek, rather, excuse me. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, that took a fingertip on the way through. No, it didn't. And it was another one of those from Simone Parodi. Well, they're actually going to take another look at this. At 3 to beat Parodi. Some suggestion that it touched a finger on the way through, but it wasn't called. And now Gian Lorenzo Blanghini thinks, well, I think there's a block touch there. Let's take a look. If he's wrong, he's out of challenges.
Okay, block touch. Show us block touch. Block touch.
Is there a touch there? And the call stands. Well, there was no touch. So Blanghini's gamble backfires. They need points on serve. They've got one there. And Bartosz Wolek conjure up another one here. It did seem like it went long from Parodi. It did go long from Parodi. Worth seeing if it took a touch. That will not take a touch of the back line. As Wolek really went for one. So Vital Heinen's side continuing to chase this one. Well, it was like a hot potato they were tossing around there, wasn't it? Nobody ever had really good control of this. I was sort of pushed over by Schalpuk, and that turned out to be enough. Little duel at the net goes the way of Poland, who still need points on serve. And they got a big one here in Novakovsky. He went a little bit cautious and got away with it, though, as of all people, Gabriele Nelli went wild. And Nelli's been on the money pretty much throughout this match, but that really was a wild one from him. Oh, are they clawing their way back into this? He went very conservative with his last serve, Novakovsky. Will he roll the dice here? No, he doesn't. Plays it safe again. Oh, it's dropped in brilliantly from Schalpuk. Well, now they're on a roll. It's taken them an age to get going in this fourth set, the Poles. Well, they've managed to do it on the back of two pretty safe serves from Novakovsky. And then a little bit of inspiration from Artur Schalpuk, who found a big hole, and that's enough for Blenghini. Time out, Italy.
Se non saltiamo muro, chiama il libero, va bene? Prima cosa. Seconda cosa, quando ci sono queste palle distanti, siamo tutti, ve l'ho già detto prima, nelle situazioni in cui c'è da coprire, c'è da alzare, c'è da fare, non vi preoccupate se è meglio che la prenda un altro perché è più vicino. Okay? Se posso la prendo, la appoggio l'altro.
Well, they're feeling some pressure here, the Italians. Their comfort zone is being eroded here. They are still in control of this one. But back-to-back points on the Novakovsky serve have reduced the deficit. And it's another nice, steady, safe one from Novakovsky. Parody took a touch on the way through. Oh, that is a sigh of relief there for Simone Parodi, as Mateusz Bienik's finger came into contact with the ball on its way through. Now, if the Italians can get a point on serve, they will be comfortable again. What about that? Nelli. Well, he had a wild attempt at a spike a few moments ago. He certainly atoned for that. Clean ace from Gabriele Nelli. That's how you get back in your comfort zone. Well, back to back from Nelli. That has probably broken the back of this fourth set. You have to take the good and the bad when you get those net chords. That was certainly good. All the momentum out of that big power serve taken out by the net. Nothing the Poles could do. So back-to-back points on the Nelli serve. And the Italians back comfortable. Well, well, well. Simone Giannelli, of all people, with the error. The usual double substitution for the Poles. Let's see Komenda and Schultz check in for Kaczmarek and Drieschke. Parody, clever. We reach the second technical timeout with the Italians now comfortable again. Having had a little wobble, cleverly taken timeout by Blenghini. Just to take the sting out of that Polish charge. The Novakovsky serve, and they are now back where they want to be. 5 points to the good here in this fourth set, and it seems inevitable that we will be going the distance in this one. And you don't see too many people too unhappy about that. Poles still showing some fight then. They're going to need to show an awful lot more of it. A couple of points on the Shalpuk serve will change the picture a little bit as Bartosz Bednarz comes in, a Rio Olympian, for his first appearance in Japan. Second touch once again from Gianelli. Bednarz frustrated a second time. So they'll send it the other way, and Damian Schultz will finesse a point out of that. And here they come again, the Poles. Well, the odds definitely still favouring Italy. Shalpuk will continue with serve. Lanza can't beat the libero. Oh, yes. Well, this is getting interesting again, isn't it? Well, that's what they brought Bartosz Bednarz in for. Fresh power. They're coming back again. The last time the Italians scored, or rather the Poles scored a couple of points on serve, Lenghini took a timeout. Guess what? He's done it again.
Abbiamo deciso che quello non glielo lasciamo fare chiudendo la linea, ok? Sia al 7 che adesso non c'è. Poi è entrato il 22, ok vecchio? La battuta, misuriamogli la febbre a lui. Ok?
Well, they're wobbling, the Italians, no question about that. But the last time Lenghini called a timeout, that got him back on track. As he worked his magic again, we will find out. Shalpuk with the serve. Problems. Lanza made a mess of that. Can he finish the job? No, he cannot. Well, they continue to look very, very shaky here, and the timeout did not make a difference, and nothing Lenghini can do about this now. It's getting really nervous here. Another point on the Shalpuk serve, and we're level. And that 4-point lead will have gone. Much better from Lanza. Much better. Can he finish the job this time? Well, well, well. They're asking for a block touch. Well, they're going to their experienced money man, Filippo Lanza. Unable to come up with the goods. So Davide Candelaro, a big middle blocker, comes in to add a little bit more steel defensively. And once again, the Shalpuk servers cause problems, and Lanza somehow manages to get away with that one. Oh, he's lucky. He's very lucky. So, crisis averted, but you definitely get the sense that the Poles are in the ascendancy here. Amazing how quickly this one has turned around. All the damage done on that Shalpuk serve. And the introduction of Bartosz Bednarz has certainly revitalized Poland offensively. Let's see what he can come up with here. Terrific serve, well handled. Lanza finishes the job. What a good service reception that was. Lanza had to make sure of that, targeting Marcin Komenda. But now it's grit your teeth time. The next point one on serve could be a crucial one. Will it come from Simone Gianelli, who's had a few aces in this competition? Not on that occasion. Great pickup by the libero, but the block too good. Novakovsky saying no way, Jose, that's going back. Great dig, but in vain. Back in comes Lucas Kaczmarek. As we get down to a critical phase in this set and indeed the match. Damien Schultz really went for it all there. Substitutions for Italy. Luca Spirito, the setter, comes in. As Filippo Lanza sits down. Comes in to the rotation for his serving. Spirito. Took a touch on the way through. So the pile of chips in the middle of the table keeps getting higher and higher. Well, who's going to blink first? Ooh, there's trouble. Parody has made a mess of that. Well, they may get a second bite at this, though, the Italians. Parody, though, can't find a finish. Nervy rally this. Parody again denied. Zatorski with a wonderful dig. Clever that from Shalpuk, but they've rescued it. Rossini. Still it goes on. Parody. Great block, another dig. Oh, and finally they get there with Artur Shalpuk. How many chances did they both have in that rally? A huge point. It goes the Poles' way. That must have been the longest rally of the match. A real mega rally with both teams at full stretch defensively. Both liberos playing their part in it as well. Zatorski for the Poles, Rossini for the Italians, and eventually it's Artur Shalpuk that comes up with the hit that matters. That takes him to 15 points on the match. And if they can get another point on the Bednar's serve here, they will have complete control. They don't. But the pressure now firmly on the Italians. Brilliantly done. Shalpuk really showing an array of touches. Lovely little bit of finesse there. Despairing dive out of the backcourt from Daniele Mazzone. Well, Shalpuk was given the brief of filling the gap left by the two top scorers, Kubiak and Kokonowski. He has delivered. Not over yet, though. Gabriele Nelli. That's the man you want in this position. And if Shalpuk has got himself 16 points in the match, so too now has Nelli. As those two continue just to butt heads. Rescue. Oh, they're in trouble though. Lanza just has to dump it over. A real chance here for the Poles. Blocked out of it. Great rescue again. Shalpuk can't finish the job. Lanza with the dig in the backcourt. Parody with a touch, and that's good enough. Well, the intensity level has really ratcheted up in the second half. of this fourth set. Both teams have responded to the pressure really well. And the experience of Simone Parodi, who's been there and seen it all over the years, coming to the fore for Italy there. So they're back in the driving seat for now. Another monster serve from Nelly. Dispatched back at him though by Lukas Kaczmarek. This was big. That had to go from Kaczmarek. And it did. Can he find something on his serve? 22-22, fourth set. Which way is it going to go? Lanza from deep. The attack hit doesn't work. Oh, a lovely bit of improvisation. Bienek with the put away, but set up beautifully by Drizga. Let's look at this. Just a little one-handed reverse set from Drizga. Put it up on a platter for Mateusz Bienek. And the Poles edge closer. This, a point the Italians have to win, you feel. Nelly. It had to be him, didn't it? Go to the guy with the hot hand, especially in a situation where you have to win the point. The Italians did that. Nelly delivered. Ooh, that's gone long. That's traveled now. Did it take a touch? That's what the Poles are hoping. They want a review. How big could this be? At 23 all. No, they've not decided. It has taken a touch. It has been called correctly. Well, they thought it took a touch. That has been confirmed without the need for review, so it's match point. Shalpuk with serve. Nelly! Yeah, he fights that off. Well, this is a real toe-to-toe slugfest here. We're going to go deep in this fourth set. Simone Anzani with serve. Oh, it's gone long. It's gone way long. That's a big point. That really is a big point. That, though, is going to be reviewed. The Poles, who do have a challenge, want to see if there's a block touch on that. The point currently stands in favor of Italy, and if it's upheld that the call was good, Italy will be at match point, having fought a match point off. Is there a touch on the way through, though? Players always know, of course. Nobody else is 100% certain, particularly on a close call like this. And this is why we have the technology. Does it take a touch? Does it take a touch? No, it does not. The call is good. That was a hope for the best call from Vital Heinen. And it is indeed Italy at match point. They fought one off. Or on the set point, should I say. It's not match point for the Italians, it's set point. Nothing doing. Bednarz with the boom. The Rio Olympian driving in, fighting that one off. So the opportunity goes, but we are at match point or set point all the way from here. Mateusz Bienek, the captain, into the net, bringing up another set point. He'll check out. Paweł Zatorski, the libero, back in, as Simone Giannelli would love to come up with another ace here. Can he find one? chance, a really good chance for Lanza. Blocked! Novakovsky and Drijka rejecting that one. What a chance that was. And it was Fabian Drijka that got there and repelled it. And the Italians have to wait again. Well, Lanza wasn't going to be denied on that occasion. Another set point number 3 for them. Can Blanchini get his side over the line and take this to a decider? Here's the captain, Filippo Lanza. No, nothing doing. Bartosz Bednarz says the wait goes on. They fight off another set point. This 4th set refusing to go away. Bednarz out, Kwolek back in. Well, that was an impressive cameo from Bartosz Bednarz. And he wants to put Kwolek back into the rotation here. He does send in some very aggressive serves. Kwolek, can he find a winning serve here? No, he can't. And that one got away from him. Put too much on it, the youngster. Yet another set point for the Italians. Off the block. Schalpuk keeps the poles alive. Yet another opportunity. Goes against the Italians. We are now at 28 all, and Novakovsky picked up a couple of points last time he came up for serve. Can he do it again? Ooh, trouble. Nelly just has to dump it over. Chance here for the Poles. Taken. Artur Schalpuk with the big downward spike, taking that at the high point of the ball as well. And that sends the Poles for the second time to match point. And it's another point on serve from Peter Novakovsky. Is this the moment? No, it's not. Nelly made sure of that. Monster of a serve there from Nelly. Well, he really does put everything into it. So too did Artur Schalpuk there. But it brings up set point number 5 for the Italians. And is this the moment? Going to go the distance if he can find another one like that? The answer will be yes. We will be heading for a 5th set. What a chance this is. Nelly finishes the job. That is so impressive for the Italians. That was an absolutely draining set. It means we go to a decider. And it guarantees that both teams will get at least 1 point. But who can pick up the second point? Will it be the Poles or will it be the Italians? This one's 2-2. We're going all the way.
qualche primo tempo in più con te, soprattutto se trovi Novakowski. L'ultimo primo tempo la io credo che siano 18-7, ok? Però andiamo lì a...
Well, that was the set that didn't want to go away. But eventually, it went the Italians' way. We now have a sprint to the finish line. It is the first of 15. You must win by 2 clear points. The Poles taking set 1, set 3. Italy taking set 2 and set 4. Which way is this one going to go? Really good entertainment for these fans who have loved every minute of it, and I'm sure they're all as delighted as we are that this is going to go to a 5th set. So it all comes down to this then. A sprint to the finish line now. First to 15. Scotland should win by 2 clear points. Can the Poles regroup? And the Italians continue with the initiative? We're about to find out. Nelly. And there's the quick response from Lucas Kaczmarek. So that's the threat of the Nelly serve neutralized. Another one there from Rossini. Nelly finds the line, just drops it in the corner. Another big point from Nelly, who goes up to 22 points now for the match. You don't stop those onto a shout book. He's also in the 20s for points. Those two continuing just a jewel away. Too long. Zani and Zani. Blocker. 2 points, 2 sets each. Couldn't be separated. That was one of those straight down the gut hits from Mateusz Bieniek. Everything coming off service reception. All Jadrzejska had to do was lay it on. For the big fella, he did the rest. Ooh, long from Lanza. Now there's the breakthrough. Now how significant might that be? The first move of this deciding set made by the Poles. And Schalpuk will continue with serve. Now then, what about that? Can you believe that? A lift from Filippo Lanza. That looks a good call as well. Well, first he goes long, then he's guilty of a lift. The captain has gifted the Poles a couple of points in this deciding set. He's going to have to just shrug that off immediately here, as the Italians need to regroup and regroup right now. Well, can they come back from this? Is it already too late? Remember, it's just a 15, this deciding set. And in all 4 sets, we've seen how hard it is for the team that's chasing to go ahead and win the set. Poles tried in that last set, but even then they couldn't do it. Nelly isn't going to miss many. Another devastating cross court from Gabriele Nelly. There he is, coming in from deep. Taking the right line. Well, the Italians now need a couple of points on serve, and quickly. Poland in the ascendancy here. And not stopping that one. Bienik with another middle hit. Well, whatever happens, Poland can't get 3 points, so you would think almost certainly with Brazil and the United States still to play their next match, they will not be top of the pile at the end of this one, but I don't think Vital Heinen's worried about that too much right now. He just wants to get the win and take the 2 points. Thank you very much. Once again, the key offensive weapon for the Italians. Popping up on the left side this time. He has had a really good game. The top scorer in the match. Is it going to be in a losing effort? Terrific pick-up by Schalpuk there. Parody. Too good. Well, that's what they needed. They need another one. The block in place, but Novakovsky's block goes long. Terrific defensive dig there from Gianelli. The Poles still have a chance to recycle this one. Now, a real chance here for Italy. Oh, and it's delivered again, and it's you-know-who yet again. And they've erased that deficit right there, the Italians. Inevitably, it's Gabriele Nelli. And now it's the Poles, having had control and having now lost control, that are forced into taking a timeout.
Guy can close the line on that. Okay.
Dawaj, prosta!
Which way is this one going to go? He seems to have been on court forever, and still we don't know the destination. Will it be Poland? Will it be Italy? They just cannot be separated. Oh, that's beautifully delivered, Lukasz Kaczmarek. Real quality cross-court, this one. Kaczmarek just left. Lands are rooted to the spot in the backcourt. What a great angle there. Poland back in front for now. Oh, they come out with a big block. Well, they went to their banker, as usual. Here he is. Well, this time, nothing doing. Novakovsky denying Nelly. Nelly, who's come up with so many big plays for his side. 25 points, 21 attack points as well from Gabriele Nelly. But that was a major defensive play there from Piotr Novakovsky. It could be a match-winning play. There's another one, and this time it's Kaczmarek. And now the Poles are starting to run away with it, and the match is finishing the way it started, with dominant defensive plays at the net for the Poles. And Gian Lorenzo Blenghini is forced to call a timeout as this one starts to just spiral out of control. Well, it's last roll of the dice time for the Italians. Just been blocked out of the last couple of points. Well, they fought their way back once in this fifth set. Can they do it again here? 9-6, Poland leading. They need to stop this serve from Drzyzga. They can't afford to leak another point. Well, just about. Oh, they're on thin ice here, the Italians. They get away with this one. Parodi checks out for the Italians, who need to find a couple of quick points on serve. Luigi Randazzo comes back in. Mazzone will serve, and he pushes it. And that made by Randazzo gives the Poles a chance here, and if they take it, which they do, courtesy of Lukasz Kaczmarek, surely now no way back for the Italians. The Poles have just grabbed this one by the scruff of the neck, and it all came of that error on service reception. The initiative went back to the Poles, and Lukasz Kaczmarek made sure he made them pay. Parody back in, but surely this is too late in the day. Got this right where they want it, the Poles. Oh, that's another really good serve. And it took a touch on the way through, though. That's the good news for them. Block touch rescues the Italians. But it looks like Vital Heinen is going to get that reviewed. Well, referee in the chair, not allowing the challenge. hopes hanging by a thread here. They do have their big server up next, Gabriele Nelli. He needs something special. He found him in the fourth set. That was a big one. Kept it alive, he got a chance. Nelli blocked out of it though. Nothing doing. And it's Artur Schalpuk who comes up with a huge block. Now, was there a net touch in there though? Well, that's exactly what the Italians are going to look at. Another big moment in this match, and we've had a few of them. This definitely worth a challenge. But if it doesn't go Blanghini's way, it's pretty much all over. If it does go his way, it's game back on again. Well, here it is. There's the ball going in. It's the ball that moved the net, not a player. Well, Blanghini was quite right to get that looked at, because anytime the net does move like that, you've got a chance that there was contact. But the Italians out of luck. The Poles now in complete control. They'll delay it, they'll make them fight for it. Simone Parodi coming up with the down the line. But it's points on serve they need now, and quickly. Can they find one here? Parodi goes for one, but it's into the net. It's a real aggressive one, as it had to be. It takes the Poles one step closer. And the usual double substitution then for Heinen. Komenda comes in to serve. Schultz comes in with him. Out as usual. Kaczmarek and Driska. And here we go, 13-9. Oh, this could be trouble right here. And indeed it is trouble. Artur Schalpuk with the kill. His 24th point of the match brings up match point, Poland. They had one in the fourth set and couldn't convert. And they still have plenty of opportunities. The equation for the Italians is very simple indeed. They have to win 4 points in a row on serve. That is a huge ask. Not impossible, but you wouldn't bet on it happening. And it's Giulio Sabbi that's got to find those 4 points on serve. Subbed in just for this. Goes for a big one. And it's straight into the net. And that is finally the end of the match. And delight for the Poles. They are back to winning ways. And frustration and disappointment for the Italians, but this was a much better fight of it after the rather embarrassing loss to Argentina last time out. Nevertheless, for Italy, it is 3 defeats out of 4. And they will remain on the wrong side of the line. Poland will probably be knocked off top spot, but they will be delighted just to get the win here. They'll take the 2 points, 2 hard 4 points as well. This one was nip and tuck right from the get-go. Such a good start from the Poles, a really good response from the Italians. The Poles authoritative in the third set, and that nail-biting, grinding fourth set that would have taken so much out of the legs of both teams finally going Italy's way. But then it was the Poles, and in particular those serves from Artur Schalpuk that proved the difference maker. Schalpuk the top scorer for Poland with 25 points. Spare a thought for Gabriele Nelli on the other side. 25 points for him in a losing effort. Those two banging heads all the way through the match. Big players. Kaczmarek and Bieniek contributing as well with 14 points apiece. Novakovsky, 5 block points for him. A very significant contribution as well. Let's just review some of the highlights of what's been an enthralling 5-setter. So that's how this one was won and indeed lost. 3 tough sets. Well, you can see one big difference there was the quality of the Polish blocking, led by Nowakowski with his 5. Drzyzga and Bieniek also had 3 apiece. And ultimately, that has proved to be the difference maker. Plus, of course, the 24 points from Artur Szalpuk, who was brought in to provide some offense in the absence of Michał Kubiak and Jakub Kokonowski, Poland's 2 top scorers in the competition, who were left at home. Well, the deal was for Artur Szalpuk, show us what you can do. He got 16 points against China in the last round of pool matches. He's eclipsed that today with 24 in this one. 21 of them attack hits, 1 block and a couple of points on serve as well. So relief and delight for Poland, disappointment for Italy, who remain very much on the wrong side of the line at the moment as the Poles continue to tick over. We'll have more action coming up soon from the Osaka Municipal Gymnasium. But this is the end of the broadcast. Thanks for being part of the game.